Hey folks, hey folks, hey folks, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us on the Sacramento Community Watch Network. We're joined tonight by, of course, Sacramento Community Watch himself, Chief England. I am the watch commander over at Reno News Now, also known as the ADHD Auditor. And tonight we have Levi from Levi Audits from our Florida location. Shout out to Chance and Xander of Cop Watch Task Force and Xander the Educator over on YouTube as well. All links to our network channels are down in the description below, folks. Please visit us out, give us a like, share, and subscribe. Tonight we're broadcasting on Sacramento Community Watch, Reno News Now, and on Xander the Educator's channel. Welcome in, guys. How's it going?
Ooh, we're doing fantastic today.
Yeah, we are. So,
be a good one.
So yeah, I got some things we got to do first with a little bit of housekeeping. I want to go ahead and share my screen here. I want to get one thing in the right place here. So let me get the share window screen here, folks. Oh, entire screen. Let's go entire screen 2 here. Okay. Just got to be careful here. Okay, so we all remember this guy that we covered last week in our housekeeping. This is Tyler Bear, folks. This is the tyrant that needs to go onto our tyrant wall. And again, just to prove how easy it is to get on the tyrant wall, all you got to do is right-click and copy the subject here. And I did this earlier on a different slide, but we're just going to paste him, right into here. And then we're going to shrink him down so he's along the lines of all the other tyrants. We'll post him right here and right there, or do you want him someplace else there?
He's perfect right there, right in front of his buddy.
Okay, we still need to get Mr. Doofy Torres's information here, but this is going to be TYLERBA EHR of the RPD. And do we happen to have his badge number there, Chief?
It wouldn't matter. Terminated.
Oh, yeah. So termed. And then just to make sure, we're going to put here 700 plus explicit images. Ooh, yeah, that's a really bad tyrant. And wasn't he the one who arrested Xander, the educator?
Yep, he was the one who conspired with the little tyrant butt crack behind him on the tyrant wall. Yeah.
Arrested a watchman. Okay, so yeah, he's on there for arresting a watchman too. So with that being said and done, folks, we're going to go back here and remove that. And we're going to bring up some other information about him. This is our This is a thing that we're doing with Sacramento Community Watch and Reno News, that we're kind of building a portfolio of officers here. And we figured Tyler Bear was Tyrant Bear was a good one to start with. Rank was former patrol officer with the Reno Police Department. Current status is terminated. Last reporting salary, folks, was $101,000, almost $102,000 if you round it up here, folks. Sacramento Community Watch status, tyrant. Interesting facts about Mr. Bear. He started off with the city of Reno in 2019 and recruited with the RPD in 2020, earning 5.64 times the salary he made then as a public works employee.
How much money did he make while he was at public works?
Oh, I have that information here. Let me pull that up real quick here. Let me share that screen here.
This is before he was in law enforcement, folks.
Yeah, this is before he was in law enforcement. And then in the 4 short years, he had a career as a law enforcement officer, getting sexually explicit images of a lot of people he came in contact with as an officer, apparently, from that news report. Let's go ahead and share that. share screen window. Here was his public information request on his salary that I got. He was a recreation specialist level 2. He made $9.25 an hour back in 2019, and his annual pay rate was just under $10,000. He then became a police officer recruit in January of 2020, where he then made about $26.84 or $55,000 a year. As he worked through the police department in 4 short years here, he got multiple raises that steadily increased to over almost $102,000
Wow.
for an annual salary. I would love a job that I can get this kind of raise every year. Oh my
Right. And during that 4 years, nobody ever suspected that he was taking sexually explicit pictures out of phones.
And he ran around with Tony the Tyrant.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony the Tyrant had Officer Bear do his dirty work.
Yep. The day he detained me, he did the paperwork for him.
So, but yep, that's it, folks. We got him on our tyrant wall. So that's it for housekeeping. So we're gonna move on to another little bit of housekeeping here. This is going to be a court update, folks, for Sacramento Community Watch. Chief England over here. Chief, I'm going to advise you, just as always, because you were a defendant in civil court, that you do have the right to remain silent, and you continue to do so, even though you are the I forget what you call it when you're bringing the case, the plaintiff in this case. So you still have that right. So we're going to go ahead and stop screen share. I need to share my other screen here. Had it all queued up for this, and then you had me show the other thing. Where did it go?
Gotta get it together.
I lost it. Where did it go? Oh, I gotta find it. Where did it go? I minimized it. It went away or something. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it back up on my screen here. I had the brief up and then I must have closed it out. Oh, it went away. Okay, it was minimized. Now it should be right here. There it is. Okay. So, Chief England's public defender has finally filed a opening brief in his appeals case, and we're going to go over that, folks. So, as you can see, the news media at this point, and on the request of Mr. England, have redacted some personal information that is personal to us. If you want this information, pay the $7 and get it yourself, folks. So this is as good as it's going to get. A lot of it's still unredacted.
You didn't even have to say all that.
I know. I like to be transparent on these things sometimes. So, in the Second Judicial Court of the state of Nevada and in the county of Washoe, Sacramento Community Watch, the appellant, versus the city of Reno, the respondent, and appellant Sacramento Community Watch, through his counsel Kyle Edgerton, submits this opening brief in his appeal from the judgment of conviction entered on April 1st of 24, by the Reno Municipal Court. I need to slow down a little bit, folks. Sorry about that. This brief is based on all papers and pleadings on file with the clerk of court, which incorporated by reference the record transmitted from the trial court and attached points and authorities and oral argument at any hearing in this court may be deemed necessary to hold on the matter. Respectfully submitted, Mr. Edgerton. Memorandum of points and authorities. Issues presented. Did the municipal court fail to apply the reasonable doubt standard? Did the municipal court correctly analyze the willfulness element? And did the municipal court err by not taking credibility determination? Did the municipal court err by not making a factual finding about distance? And did the sufficient evidence exist to sustain the municipal court's finding of guilt? So the statement of case. So that's a lot of things that Ms. Schuman's going to have to try to cover.
Exactly. Hey, I want to say shout out to Kyle Edgerton for my defense. He's effing awesome. He's fucking awesome.
Hey, he is very much so. We greatly appreciate Mr. Edgerton, and shout out to him. As I was rereading this and going through what I was going through to get in touch with this, I actually found a statement he made because, folks, you got to know with me and ADHD, I don't read footnotes. I really don't. So when I was reading through this the first time, I didn't realize that there was a call out or a shout out in this. So I reached out to Mr. Edgerton and said, hey, I got the audio. If you want it, here it is. And if you want unedited audio, I got it too. So let me know. So shout out to Oklahoma Cop Watch. How you doing tonight there? We're doing fine. We're hanging in there. So thanks for joining us and going through at least this case here, folks. We're going to try to get through this and we're going to read more of this, but yeah, so let's keep going here. So the statement of case, it says, defendant Sacramento Community Watch devotes a significant portion of his time to activities as a First Amendment auditor or FAA. And then here's a footnote. So let's go down to the footnote here. It says, see First Amendment audit Wikipedia available at Wikipedia. So, okay, that's good. Those activities consist of traversing the local community and video recording the activities of uniformed police officers. Defendant sometimes uploads his recordings to a YouTube channel with the handle Sacramento Community Watch. And then the footnote down here gives a shout out to Sacramento Community Watch.
Hey, the roof.
So, thanks for the shout out in court. As the name implies, and consistent with the broader First Amendment auditor movement, the defendant believes that these activities create transparency, promote police accountability, and serve as a check against the potential abuses such as the use of excessive force, the planting of evidence, and violation of civil rights. Doc 17.
Definitely.
Okay. So you're going to see in here, folks, that it's going to reference this TR. That's the actual transcript that of what we went through listening to the audio recordings. One of the things I told Chief England the other night was, had we had enough time, I would have loved to get the audio clips and play them as we're going through this, but we just don't have enough time. So
that would be real nice.
It would have been real nice. Maybe I'll put it together in post-production or something like that, but I don't have enough time in the day, folks. I really don't. I don't want to promise you content I can't deliver on. So I've done that one too many times, unfortunately. So this case arises from an incident during daylight hours on September 18th of 23 when defendant observed Officer Anthony Sotelo, or as we affectionately refer to him as Tony the Tyrant. And I had my stream deck up because we got to have him in there,
Am I going to be famous too? You're going to put me on your YouTube video?
and don't forget this one, folks.
Do you see the color that I am?
This is on so body worn camera.
The reason why he said that was I said, you're violating my rights under the color of law.
Yep. And that was on body worn camera.
Yeah. Then he said, do you see the color that I am? I just said, oh, man.
He don't even get it, bro.
Just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And that just
a tyrant. He's out to get you.
It just goes on to prove that he doesn't know the law and he doesn't know what a lawful order is. Okay. So, the case arises from an incident during daylight hours when defendant observed Officer Anthony Sotelo, or as we call him, Tony the Tyrant, inspecting a vehicle on 2nd Street in downtown Reno. And then see the transcript. Along with Officer Sotelo were Holly Anderson, who purported to be the owner of the vehicle, and her companion, Timothy, last name omitted from the transcript. Miss Anderson claimed to have been the person who reported the vehicle as stolen the day prior and to have fortuitously discovered it parked on 2nd Street. The front driver's side door was locked while the passenger side door was unlocked and the trunk was locked. Okay, see the transcript. Okay, Miss Anderson did not have a key and sent Timothy to retrieve it. As Officer Sotelo gathered information on the north side of 2nd Street, defendant began recording from the opposite side of 2nd Street. Defendant was standing just north of a vehicle parked on the south side of 2nd Street, such as his feet were roughly atop the solid white line separating the exterior travel lane from the parking lane. Officer Sotelo admonished defendant to, quote, get out of the street, and then continued examining the vehicle. His investigatory activities at this time included gathering the vehicle identification number visible through the front windshield, running a VIN check, and conducting a visual search of the interior of the vehicle. Officer Sotelo also could have run WINS identity check on Miss Anderson and Timothy, but he did not do so because he took them at their word that they were the theft victims rather than the thieves that posed a danger to him.
Right.
Wow.
Because this investigation required the search of an unoccupied vehicle suspected in a felony crime, standard procedure required Officer Sotelo to call and wait for backup, but not for the full team necessary for an occupied vehicle encounter. Officer Sotelo also could have begun inventorying the vehicle. He could not access the locked trunk of the vehicle until Timothy returned with the key.
Right.
Officer Sotelo conceded that, although he could have done so, he did not open the unlocked passenger side door at any point in the 3 minutes from his arrival on the scene until he encountered defendant again.
That's me.
The second encounter occurred as a result of Officer Sotelo flushing defendant out of his position on South 2nd Street, where he had been straddling the parking lane and recording Officer Sotelo at a distance of approximately 30 feet. And folks, in the police report, if you remember when we recovered it earlier, the police report said that he was standing in the middle of travel lane 1 or 2, whichever one, just in the middle of a travel lane.
Police report. He straight up
So
lied.
he straight up lied in the police report, which we'll get to later.
Dumb.
Yep, dumb. So take a moment, folks, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Check out all our channels in the description below, please. Thank you. Okay. The second encounter occurred as a result of Officer... Okay, read that. Okay. Once Officer Sotelo directed defendant to get out of the street, defendant walked east on South 2nd Street, crossed the street, and then approached the suspect vehicle via the sidewalk on North 2nd Street.
Yep. I crossed the crosswalk. Lawfully.
Yep. During this time, Officer Sotelo watched defendant and remarked to Miss Anderson, he's going to come over here and continue recording.
Good job, Edgerton. Awesome.
Very good job. So far, very good job. Yes. Very well read. Officer Sotelo likely knew that the defendant was going to continue recording him because seemingly knew the defendant was an auditor.
Thank you.
He acknowledged an extended interaction with defendant that occurred 2 months prior, and I'm putting in there in the police report, in July of 2023, when defendant had recorded Officer Sotelo during a nighttime investigation of a crime of violence that involved the detained suspect and various passerby. Nonetheless, he testified that at the time he had no subjective knowledge that the defendant was an auditor.
Stupid.
Defendant approached the scene, still recording from his cell phone. Tony the Tyrant directed him to come no closer than the streetlight approximately 30 feet from the vehicle. Defendant took a few more steps, stopped, and replied that he was on a public sidewalk.
Remember in court when they said that I said this is a fucking sidewalk?
Yes, they said that he said that they were in the court. They were trying to say that it was the fucking sidewalk. So what wound up happening, folks, is I think that the prosecution was, and this is a public opinion here, folks, that the prosecution was so lazy that when Edgerton sent them my scrapbook video of meshing all the body cam videos to Chief England's video and getting everything synced up, that the two voices overlapped each other, and then hearing public turned into elephant. So they went with and rather than public. And, you know, that's how it all wound up. And they stuck with effing their entire time until they convinced the officer it could have been public, right? I mean, you could clearly hear public in that video, folks.
Right. What's so funny is that Schumann is the one that added that in there, the fucking sidewalk, because she felt like that was going to be more of a defense and have the judge more persuaded using those type of words that, you know, oh, he's using bad words, cuss words and stuff.
Yeah, he was trying to get him on profanity.
Bag.
It's called the First Amendment. We can even say fucking sidewalk if we wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. If I wanted to say that, I could have said it, but I did say public sidewalk.
And the other thing is it can't be considered disorderly conduct because you need a complainant, and the officer can't be a complainant on a disorderly conduct.
Disrespectful.
These little nuances, they need to teach these officers these little nuances because law is nuanced, but they're going out there and giving them a club when it comes to the law.
Right.
Learn the law.
Learn
officer.
the law. Fuck.
Do you see the color that I am?
Color of law. So we had a 3 here. So on the footnote here. So the question whether the defendant referred to the sidewalk as public or in a more colorful way should be immaterial to the facts and law of the case.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about.
Just what we were talking about. So back up here at the 3. So okay.
Edgerton is an intelligent man. I tell you, he is intelligent on it.
He is a very good public defender. Yes.
No, I don't like calling him public defenders. I'm going to call him my attorney.
Yeah, he's
doing
your attorney.
way better job than the public defender. Public defenders try to stick you out there and, you know, blah, give you a popsicle and hope that you get, you know.
The term public defender can have a negative connotation to it. So yeah, I perfectly understand that.
Yeah, he's an awesome attorney.
Definitely can have negative to it.
So, okay. There was a brief exchange during which Officer Sotelo ordered defendant back to the streetlight approximately 2 more times in short succession before announcing that he was detaining defendant. After a long consultation with his supervising officer,
I bet he did have a long consultation with his supervising officer.
It was 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I told him about Hoyt. I said, dude, don't you know I'm in court right now with Hoyt? You know,
the whole thing goes, in my opinion, is 5 minutes. There's 5 minutes everywhere. 5 minutes that, you know, we were waiting for backup. 5 minutes that we had Chief before he detained Chief England. 5 minutes before, while he was talking to his supervisor. 5 minutes while fire terminated officer Tyler Bear was actually doing Sotelo's job for him. You know, there's 5 minutes of everything, and he could have been doing so much more in the 5 minutes while waiting for his backup to arrive, and in dealing with you than he could have done. You know, he could have had everything taken care of in 5 minutes if he would have just done his job instead of slack-jawing with the stolen car victim.
Right. They could have been talking about Barbies for all I give a damn, but if anything, he could have been picking up trash. I mean...
Well, I mean, Tyler Bear knew how to do that. Tyler Bear could have trained him on that. Remember, he was that parks officer. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
He was part of the parks crew. Maybe they got an opening in the parks crew at that $9 an hour for Tony the Tyrant after this. You know. So, anyways. After a long consultation with his supervising officer, which was held on muted body cam.
Of course, they muted it. I tell y'all, always record the police. They love to hide.
To be quite honest, if they mute their body cam, if you bring a conspiracy of deprivation of rights against them, it should automatically be granted if you win the deprivation of rights case. Because if they can't have a conversation on body cam, it means they're conspiring against your rights off body cam.
Automatic Title 242 violation. Automatic.
It should be that way, period. I mean, if they can't be willing to be open and transparent and mute it later, have the clerks mute the body cams. They should not have anybody muting the body cams. That way, if you wanted it, because that evidence is gone forever. If you let the officer mute the body cam, that evidence is gone forever.
Yeah, they can pretty much do what they want to do.
Yeah, they should automatically be in trouble for that shit, dude. Like that's
so
bad.
that, in my opinion, that is destroying evidence.
Evidence, exactly. And if you're muting your body camera as a police officer, you're just a shitty officer with a shitty diaper.
Anyway. And you're destroying evidence, in my opinion. You can't prove it legally because guess what? The judges won't let them allow it because guess what? The judges are ultimately looking out for the state.
Right, and they wonder why we can't trust law enforcement.
No.
But anyways, you know,
there's the good officers out there, but there are a lot of dirt bags.
It's so far and few in between of the good, though, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
There's other administration who can mute that body cam for you, but you shouldn't be having those conversations muted. Period. End of story. Full stop.
Yep.
Anyways,
especially working for the public. But yeah. Anyways.
Okay, Tony the Tyrant did not arrest defendant, but instead issued a citation for violation of NRS 199-280.3.
Okay, pause. Remember, he did say he was taking me to jail, though.
He did.
But this time you're going to jail.
You're going to jail. I don't care. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. His supervisor talked him out of going to jail because if you were to escape this, you know, the best thing that would be for Tony the Tyrant is a slap on the wrist. You know,
he was aware of the Hoyt thing, so
yeah, it's like right now you probably have a leg to stand on because this NRS right here, we've discussed it, folks. It's constitutionally unsound on the face of it. It really is. When we're going to read it down below, it's in the brief here. But once you read it and you apply logic to it, it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, it would make better sense for them to scrap it and put resisting arrest rather than resisting a public officer.
Yeah.
Which is what it should be, which is what people mistake it for. I think Accountability for All, AFA, said that this is a secondary offense. It's not a secondary offense. So, and he thought it was resisting arrest. It's not resisting arrest. It's resisting a public officer. There is no resisting arrest.
Yep.
Anyways, we got a paragraph 4 here, footnote 4 here. Revised Nevada statute. Oh yeah. Okay. Here it is. Here's what it says. A person who in any case or under any circumstances not otherwise specifically provided for willfully resists, delays, or obstructs a public officer in discharging or attempting to discharge any legal duty of his or her office shall be punished for ... for a misdemeanor. So that's what that one was. I mean,
you know what's so funny? They got so many laws in NRS towards us as the public. What about the NRS towards the police when they break the laws and violate rights and stuff? And I mean,
well, they got qualified immunity and all that.
I know. Well, in Nevada, they don't have qualified immunity in the state. They have federally stuff. Yeah. But we've investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing. Oh, I forgot about that. We have another little small piece of housekeeping that you notified me of today when you called.
Shit, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, let me take this off the screen real quick and go full screen here. Yeah. So
breaking news, folks. Breaking news.
Breaking news. So I contacted Internal Affairs today concerning my case with Christian Hoyt. The unlawful arrest, he took me to jail. Sergeant picked me up, unarrested me, took me home, stuff like that. So when I asked him about this, was almost 2 years ago. They're still under investigation. They have a finding. They found a, what is it called?
Determination.
They found a determination, but he didn't want to tell me the determination. Instead, he said that they're allowing him to make an appeal on this determination. Almost 2 years later. Horrible. He was very standoffish. Didn't want to give me too much information about what was going on. Of course, we already know this. A cop makes an unlawful arrest, an unlawful detainment, and then they hide. They hide behind the badge. They hide behind the agency, and they stay hidden. And then when we ask questions, they don't have answers for you.
And see what me and you discussed earlier, and you agreed with me then, is that you just they made a comment, something like you said, that they didn't want to give you any information until they had something more concrete. I go, okay, so you're not going to give me, it's fine that he has a chance to appeal. Thanks for letting me know that, but at least let you know what the determination was and what's going on with it. It's like, what the possible potential stuff is. And why hasn't anybody contacted me about this?
Exactly.
Why hasn't determination been made without anybody contacting you? It makes no sense. So, but hopefully, this appeal process goes relatively quick, but I'm sure there's going to be unions involved. Usually there is. And
all these loopholes, I told them verbatim, I said, you guys do an investigation, it take you guys 30 years.
This is it's an open and shut case. It's an open and shut case.
And we know you guys are hiding. We know you guys are bullshitting. We know you guys are lying. It's disgusting behavior, and we're sick of it. We really are sick of it.
Totally.
So anyhow, we're gonna go.
Catherine Nance, get your team together. Get them together, because it's sad. It's super sad, and then you guys have no excuse for it.
Get rid of your bad apples. You have way too many bad apples. Way too many bad apples.
Because we end up in court like this, and your officers get put on the pedestal, and now look what's going on.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving here. We're on page 4 of 12. So standards of review. When, as here, this court sits in its capacity as an appellate court, it applies the same standards of review as a Nevada appellate's court. And then it's quoting here, the district courts in several judicial districts of this state have final appellate jurisdiction in cases arising in justices' courts and other such inferior tribunals as may be established by law. Okay, so he's saying that that the appropriate venue. Okay, this court reviews the question of law and statutory interpretation de novo. State versus White. Okay, he's quoting that. So, do we know what de novo means? I'm not a law person. I'm a lay person. So, from a new beginning. Okay, so this court reviews questions of law and statutory interpretation from the beginning anew. Primary goal of interpreting statute is to give it effect of the legislature's intent of enacting it. And he quoted 7 here, which is Wilson versus First Judicial District Court. This is sometimes why I don't read footnotes, people, is because they start quoting case law that they all know about and we know nothing. And then we're going to have to go to chat bots and ask them, can you simplify this to me as a layperson? And then, just for them to, say that, it's proper for it to be here. So continuing on, this court will first look to the statute's plain language to determine its meaning and will enforce it as written if the language is clear and unambiguous. To determine plain meaning, we got a footnote 8 here. Okay, so it's just referencing what it referenced before. Okay. To determine plain meaning, in court considers both the particular statutory language at issue as well as the language and design of the statute as whole. Number 9. So again, it's referencing the same thing that it was. So all of these. Okay, so can you guys remember 14? We want to come back and look at the footnote. Okay, so design the statute. The court will look beyond the statute's language only if the language is ambiguous or its plain meaning was not clearly intended or would lead to an absurd or unreasonable result. And ambiguity arises when the statutory language itself lends itself to 2 or more reasonable interpretations. So with that, folks, that, like I said, that law is ambiguous, because what I told Mr. Edgerton outside of court was, if an officer wanted to, he could walk right into that judge's court, tell the judge to get off the bench and go sit down. It's a lawful order because I said so, and sit down right in his seat and play mock court if he wanted to. And if the judge resisted him, it would be resisting a public officer because he felt that he thought he was within the rights to do so. If he thought he could get away with it lawfully, apparently. But I'm over exaggerating. No law enforcement officer would ever do that. But I mean, that just kind of goes to tell you if the law can be read to where a judge can be taken off the bench by a law enforcement officer, it must be unconstitutional. Hey, Delete Laws. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, thank you for promoting us as well. We're fighting the same fight that you have fought. We're so glad you could join us, and thank you for coming in, man. Glad to see you on here, man. So, again, Chili went through all this, man. And Chili won, and Chili was much more vulgar and a lot more closer. I think Chili was within 10 feet. You were within 18. Wasn't the tape measure 18 feet?
16.
I believe, yeah. 16 feet.
Yep. And Chili, he did reference you in this opening as well. He referenced
he did reference your case, and we're going to give you a shout out because of this too. Okay, so where was I at here? Okay, 2 or more reasonable interpretations. Okay. When reviewing criminal conviction for sufficiency of the evidence, this court determines whether any rational tier of fact could have found the essential elements of the crime beyond reasonable doubt when reviewing the evidence in the light of the most favorable to the prosecution. And this court will not reweigh evidence or evaluate the credibility of witnesses because that was the responsibility of the trier of fact, meaning the other judge.
You talking about Draculich?
Yeah, Draculich. So, argument. The municipal court did not find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Oklahoma Cop Watch. Yes, what is with these pigs and their fake 1 foot rule? Yeah, you should watch some of Sacramento's live streams and some of his shorts because there was actually a cop who told him, it's like, I need you back 21 feet. And Sacramento asked him, was like, how far do I need to be back? The cop goes 21 feet. And Sacramento right back at him goes, what law is that? What law is that? It's not a lawful order. There's nothing on the thing. There's nothing on the books that says 21 feet. Just like there's no rule on the books for now. Back to the golden rule of 10 feet.
No, the Supreme Court hadn't ruled anything on any of that.
Nope.
Hey, Tom, yes, we try not to call them pigs, at least on our channels, but, it's one of those things. We rank them based upon how they act.
Exactly.
So if they act lawfully, if they act professionally, we call them law enforcement officers. If they act like a television show cop, we call them cops. If they act like a tyrant, we call them tyrants. If they act like a pig, we call them a pig. If they act like a jackboot thug pig, we call them a jackboot thug pig. We don't go as far as
trick. We're gonna call him a dirty trick.
We don't go to straight jackboot thug pig on things, folks, and we don't go to straight to pig on it either. But whenever you don't know the law, then you're at least playing cop because you know what? There's no language in the law that calls them cops. They're law enforcement officers. Call them what they are. They need to learn the law. They are law enforcement officers.
Yeah, if they learn how to enforce the laws instead of their feelings, then a lot of incidents like this wouldn't happen.
In Oklahoma Cop Watch, some of these have been militarized by the Afghan and Iraq War. It is, and then they come in and they start acting that way to civilians in the United States who they swore an oath to defend and protect.
Yeah, a lot of them got PTSD, dad,
and they shouldn't even be in there.
No,
what's so funny? I seen at a police department they had a big armored tank and stuff. Looked like they were going to war against who? Us? Damn. I mean, tanks and stuff and armored vehicles and
I get there's a war on drugs, but you gotta fight that war strategically. If you're carrying it out on the civilian population, you're not going to win the civilian population over. You got to go after the people who are victimizing these people and help those that are victims get better. And that starts with better policing all the way around. And you know, there's just so much help that needs to go on out there. And, you know, please do your best to help those in need, folks. Thank you. So, getting back to what we were doing, the defendant's conviction is not valid unless the municipal court found that the city met its burden to prove each element of the charged crime by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. 14. And that's when we need to go back here. It says the Due Process Clause of the United States Constitution protects an accused against conviction except on proof beyond a reasonable doubt of every fact necessary to constitute the crime with which he is charged. Nevada trial courts use totality of the circumstances approach for many trial rulings, and it's quoting more case law. Okay, but the evidentiary burden to sustain a conviction is and always must be proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Here, the municipal court explicitly relied on the totality of circumstances standard of the proof. Excuse me. Okay. Quote, and so, with that, the totality of the circumstances, the state of mind, the praying of the officer, what these guys go through every day, that's why these guys live under this arguably but an ongoing fear of their job. And they might admit it, they might not, but I think it's present as far as hindering or delaying him, taking his mind off of that car, talking to the victim in this matter, that constitutes obstruction. That is what the judge says. And according to the paragraph here right above it, it says that they must use the totality of the circumstance, or trial courts must be on proof of the totality of the circumstance. Yeah. Anyways, I thought I read something. There was a difference, I thought. So anyways.
So that paragraph right there, I want to let everybody know, be clear, that was from Judge Jaculitz right there.
Yeah, that was from the judge. That's what the judge said. So, and he basically what he's saying here is he weighed over heavily, in my opinion, on the officer safety portion of case law.
Absolutely.
There is no law. It's case law. Officer safety. You lean on officer safety when it comes to the law and case law. But if you ain't engaging in the law properly, there is no officer safety law. So
exactly.
Anyways, so continuing on, the municipal court did not make any finding that the defendant's conduct was willful. There's Nevada revised. It's again referencing Nevada revised statute. The municipal court did not make any finding that the defendant's conduct affected Officer Sotelo's discharge of any legal duties of his or her office. And although the municipal court found that the defendant's conduct of which caused Officer Sotelo to, quote, take his mind off, quote, the investigation continued obstruction. Let's see, 18. Okay, that's all of them there. Okay. The municipal court did not establish that its finding was one of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Rather, the municipal court was considering the totality of the circumstances. That was not adequate, factual, or analytical predicate to pronounce guilt in this case. So again, the judge was not taking in reasonable doubt. He took in the totality of the circumstances, which is the wrong case to lean on. So, and folks, stick around. We do got a video after this. And before we start the video, I'm going to give away 5 subscriptions, gift subscriptions to the Sacramento Community Watch channel. So stick around. Feel free to chat with us. Send us a super chat. Any way you want to help out, it's greatly appreciated, folks. Any details are down below. Please at least like, share, and subscribe to all of our channels. Okay. Continuing on here, it says, this is simply not the matter of parlance or of the municipal court failing to utter certain magical words or talismanic phrase, like open sesame, or get your booger back. Anyways, the municipal court analysis was itself equivocal, resolving the critical question whether the defendant's conduct created a distraction to the extent that Officer Sotelo, acting out of fear for himself, was compelled to divert his attention from an ongoing investigation. Thus, quote, I think it's present. Sad. Again, the municipal court made no finding whatsoever as to the defendant mens rea, and that's another one of those Latin words we're going to look up here real quick. Mens rea, yeah. Look up mens rea. The intention or knowledge of wrongdoing that constitutes part of a crime as opposed to the action or conduct of the accused. This is why I don't like law, folks, is because they can sum up that whole paragraph right there in 2 Latin words.
Have a person confused, huh?
Yeah. And I wouldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Shout out to Mr. Edgerton for being able to do this. This is, I mean, I would have to put this in lay person's words. Mens rea, or as to whether Officer Sotelo's discharge of a legal duty was affected by any distraction caused. Recall that Officer Sotelo conceded that he was essentially standing around waiting for Timothy to bring the key and for backup to arrive before he would inventory the vehicle further. And again, it's written here in the transcripts, and we got the transcripts, but we're not going to go digging through the transcripts, folks. Today, that'd be hours worth of. Yeah. Anyways, in the absence of an adequate finding of guilt, one accepting the satisfaction of each element of the offense by proof beyond a reasonable doubt, the defendant's conviction cannot stand. That's a pretty good argument, don't you think, guys?
Absolutely.
For sure.
He's hitting it right on the nail.
And legally speaking, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
So, B, there was no finding nor any evidence to support, 1, that any resistance, obstruction, or delay by defendant was, quote, willful.
Never.
And this is what I love
Never.
about this law being so weak on its face, man. So weak on its face. As noted above, the municipal court did not address the mens rea element of the charged offense, which would have required a finding by adequate proof that the defendant willfully interfered with Officer Sotelo's discharge of legal duties in a prohibited manner. Although the defendant preserved his right to remain silent, his prior statements were admitted through the introduction of body cam footage. In the body cam footage, defendant made it clear, quote, I can record you anytime I want to from a public sidewalk. I should have had you read that. I mean, it is your quote.
Yeah, I can record you anytime I want from a public sidewalk, dude.
His purpose is...
That's what I said. There's no tape up.
His purpose was to record Officer Sotelo's police activities carried out on a public street. Although during testimony, Officer Sotelo feigned at the time unfamiliarity with the defendant and uncertainty as to his purpose. Officer Sotelo's statements to Miss Anderson revealed that he knew defendant was, quote, going to come over here and record us, quote.
He said that to her while I was walking up.
On body cam.
Yeah,
on body cam. Go check out the videos at Reno News Now, Sacramento Community Watch. They're all over the place, folks. I mean, yeah, go back and watch. Like those videos too, folks. So, Tony the Tyrant admitted on cross-examination that he insinuated that the defendant was one of those auditor folks. Even though Officer Sotelo articulated a vague uncertainty as to the motives of First Amendment auditors, he admitted that he was unaware of any instance of a First Amendment auditor attacking a police officer.
Wow.
Folks, First Amendment auditors do not want anything to do with a police officer. They want to stand there, record peacefully, and if you don't interact with them, 9 times out of 10, they won't interact with you. The only 1 time out of 10 that we usually interject. Interject is a better word, is whenever we're advising your detainee that they have a right to remain silent. Anything that they say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to an attorney before police questioning. Yep. And if you cannot afford so, they have to provide you one. We've done that before. Anywho, and they would probably claim that would be interference or resisting when it's exactly what it is, free speech, folks.
Now they quickly take the detained person and throw them in the back of the car, and drive off around the corner somewhere. Their tactics are so tacky and petty, cheap and stupid. They should just learn the law and do better. Why do they have to do it the other way? Stupid.
So, in summary, the only reasonable inference to draw from the evidence of the defendant's state of mind was that he was intended to record Tony the Tyrant's activities, consistent with his past conduct and with the purposes of the First Amendment auditor movement. This could not have constituted a factual predicate for the municipal court to have found by proof beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant had, quote, willfully resisted, obstructed, or delayed Tony the Tyrant's investigation.
Thank you.
Furthermore, there's a strong argument that the mens rea required to support a conviction under NRS 199.280.3 is the same that is required for a violation of NRS 197.190, which is interfering with the police activity, I believe is the title for that one. As defendant discussed in a memorandum of law submitted in the eve of the trial, footnote 19, here, document 18. This memorandum was submitted only hours before the trial, but was incorporated by reference by the counsel in closing argument and was meant to guide the municipal court's analysis in the event that it took a recess to consider the case rather than ruling immediately after the close of argument. Meaning that he expected the judge to take a break and look at the document he turned in, but the judge decided, nope, guilty.
Yep.
Of course.
These statutes are very similar in language, and it goes on to discuss them here. And this is going to be the second time we discuss 199.280 here. So, but anyways, NRS 197.190, obstructing a public officer. Not interfering, it was obstructing a public officer. Every person who, after due notice, shall refuse or neglect to make or furnish any statement, report, or information lawfully required of the person by any public officer, or who, in such statement, report, or information shall make any willfully untrue, misleading, or exaggerated statement, or who shall willfully hinder, delay, or obstruct any public officer in the discharge of their official powers or duties, shall, where no other provision of law applies, be guilty of a misdemeanor. So basically, if you give the officer false information, neglect to provide them information, or basically willfully hinder or delay, obstruct basically interfere with their investigation, it's a misdemeanor. And I think that one night on Zombie Crawl, when they were trying to get our footage, they were going to be using an obstruction charge, Chief. But I bet you after I threw on NRS 171.1233, they quickly changed their mind.
Can you do me a favor, since we have both of these pulled up, can we pull up NRS 171.1233? Since they love throwing out all these NRS codes, pull up NRS 171.
Yeah, let me see if I can do that here. I think I got that in a slide somewhere.
Yeah, so we want everybody here to understand that we are enforcing an actual law. If you guys want to look it up, NRS 171.1233 gives us lawful right to record law enforcement during the course of their duties, and that's what we do. Talking about some damn obstruction, please. Resisting, please. Like Edgerton said, he flushed me out of my location when I was across the street. So lawfully, I walked up the street, walked across the crosswalk, and still was an issue.
Okay, I'll have to pull that up on a different screen. I don't have it on. I thought I had it on a tile somewhere, and for some reason I can't get to it. So give me just yeah, I'm going to pull it up on Google here. Give me just a few moments here. I just got to get. I got screens in my
1,000 screens, huh?
Yeah. I'll bring it up on the legislature's page here. 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to Stream Deck and
now this is the law that Anthony Sotelo violated.
Okay, so NRS 171.1233, recording a law enforcement activity. A person who is not under arrest or in the custody of a peace officer may record a law enforcement activity and maintain custody and control of that recording and any property or instruments used by the person to record a law enforcement activity. A person who is under arrest or in the custody of a police officer does not, by this status alone, forfeit the right to have any such recordings, property, or instruments maintained and returned to him or her. This subsection must not be construed to authorize a person to engage in actions that interfere with or obstruct a law enforcement activity or otherwise violate any other law in effort to record a law enforcement activity. A peace officer shall not act to interfere with a person's recording of law enforcement activity, including without limitation by A, intentionally preventing or attempting to prevent the person from recording law enforcement activity, B, threatening the person for recording law enforcement activity, C, commanding that person to cease recording law enforcement activity when the person was nevertheless authorized to record the law enforcement activity, stopping, seizing, or searching the person because he or she recorded law enforcement activity, or unlawfully seizing property or instruments used by a person to record law enforcement activity, unlawfully destroying or seizing any recording or image of law enforcement activity, or copying such recording of a law enforcement activity without the consent of the person who recorded it or obtaining approval from the appropriate court. As you use it in the section, it's just defining some few things. So yeah, that is NRS 171.1233, folks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you're not guilty of NRS 199.280, resisting a public officer, then he's guilty of NRS 171.1233. So let me go back to that window. Give me just a second, folks. Got some administration issues to take care of here. Okay. Resisting a public officer. Again, a person who in any case, under any circumstances not otherwise specifically provided for. Again, how vague is that? Any case under any circumstances. Willfully resist, delays, obstructs a public officer in discharging or attempting to discharge any legal duty of his or her office shall be punished where no dangerous weapons is used in the course of such resistance, obstruction, or delay for a misdemeanor.
Stupid.
Makes absolutely no sense.
Not at all.
Gumball machine. 50 cent sodas. It's just cheap. They need to do better. Why is that bullshit?
Edgerton is crushing it.
Are you hitting that zero sugar?
Yeah, zero sugar crush. Yeah.
Yeah, not good. What type of sugar did they use and replace?
Oh, don't worry about that. We're not getting into that tonight.
All right.
Anyways, the operative language is relevant in this case for NRS 197.190. Every person who shall willfully hinder, delay, or obstruct any public official in the discharge of his duties, and for NRS 199.280, a person who willfully resists, delays, or obstructs a public officer in discharging or attempting to discharge any legal duty of his or her office. The syntax and word choice aside, the only potential substantive differences between these statutes is resist instead of hinder and legal duty of office instead of official powers and duties. That's how razor thin the difference is between those laws. Wow. To the extent that the defendant can discern any daylight between resist and hinder, the former term suggests a greater amount of interference rather than mere frustration. Indeed, the Nevada Supreme Court has produced its own taxonomy of these symptoms or synonyms. Hinder is defined as to impede or delay or prevent, as in defined in Scott versus Judd, the district court. Resist is defined to oppose. This word is properly described as an opposition by direct action and quasi-forcible means. 21, again referring to Scott versus Judicial District Court. Consistent with this, the Nevada Court of Appeals in Wilson versus First Judicial District Court recently interpreted NRS 197.190 as only applying to physical conduct or fighting words. Wilson, again, he's quoting it here. And requiring specific intent to interfere with an officer's duties. Defendant can see no reason why this analysis would not carry over directly to NRS 199.280, the statute at issue in this case. Even though both parties addressed the issue in closing, the municipal court did not analyze the interplay between the two statutes. The court should determine de novo that NRS 199.280 has the same extra textual elements as NRS 197.190 with respect to showing specific intent and interference through either physical force or fighting words.
Yep. Which neither I did. I will never do. So
no, we don't do that.
That's our policy. Our policy under the Sacramento Community Watch, we don't do any of that. We do have our own handbook, by the way.
We match energy to energy and attempt to de-escalate.
Exactly.
Which is what police officers are supposed to do. But they don't.
They like to escalate, though.
Yeah. They always take the route of escalation. Definitely.
Always.
Because they think that they're right in every lawful situation.
Right, and they don't even know the law half the time.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a lawful order is, look it up. Any order that you can give backed by law. If you can't back it by law, it's an unlawful order.
Yeah, a set of actual numbers that lead to an actual law. That's what it means to be backed up by law.
So if you caught Sacramento's earlier live stream where he was out, he went into a public office. It's kind of like alternate sentencing office for the courts. And out there on the wall was one of those signs: no phones, no cameras, no video recording. Well, the problem is there's no NRS attached to it. So it's an illegal sign. So,
right, and that's why I was inside recording, and none of the people who worked inside said anything to me. Nobody. They was like, it says it on that.
And as you noticed, they put up the privacy film on the glass in public.
Exactly. Can't even see. But I put the camera up under the window to give a good. If you guys go check out the live stream, I did put the camera up under there so you guys can see it.
The live stream before this one. So over at the Sacramento Community Watch channel. Thank you guys. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. So this court should also rule that no facts existed in the record to support a finding that the defendant specifically intended to interfere with Officer Sotelo investigation, or that the defendant's conduct constituted fighting words or physical interference. In sum, this court should determine that the defendant must be acquitted of the charge against him. In the alternative, the court should remand the case to municipal court for clarification. Basically, kick it back down to Judge Drakovich again. C. The municipal court failed to make a credibility determination with regards to Tony the Tyrant, rendering the record incapable of full review. Interesting. The court will not second guess the trial court's credibility determination where one exists. 26 it says here, the defendant also asked the court to take judicial notice of the 8th Judicial District Court's order on appeal in DeCastro versus State, reaching a similar conclusion. Shout out to Chili DeCastro over at Delete Laws. You have made case law. Congratulations. It's been used. Shout out to Mr. DeCastro. We love you over here.
For sure.
You know, although we don't go straight to Jackboot Thug Pig, we still love you, man.
I sometimes do. I'm not gonna lie.
Sometimes you got to go straight there.
I mean, they made so much money from our tax dollars. I mean, as a supervisor, as a taxpayer, you should be able to say whatever you want. Here's
where I see a Jackboot Thug Pig. If I'm doing a First Amendment audit in a post office, and the first thing that the police officer does is come in and tells me to get the F out of there because they don't want you in here, that's a Jackboot Thug Pig.
Oh, 100%.
The moment they attempt to violate my rights, the words are free in my mouth. They're going to come out the way that I want them to come out, and that's it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, again, we respect lawful policing, folks.
Right.
We really do, and
Yeah.
we like to remind you that if you guys have any complaints against your government, you have the right to redress your grievances with your government under the First Amendment of the Constitution. However, again, we remind you that the First Amendment is a double-edged sword. Just because you can say fire in a crowded movie theater doesn't mean you can actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, use your Constitution wisely. Know how to use it. Know your rights. Use your rights. And then please, we do not condone any threats or force of violence. So please don't do that. But give them a piece of your mind. Oh.
And folks, if you guys have any videos of police misconduct, reach out to us at the Sacramento Community Watch gmail.com.
And if you want to send us a secure message, you can reach us at Reno News Now at protonmail.com. Make sure you have another Proton Mail account when you send it to us, because Proton Mail, when you send between each other, is encrypted communications. So if you want to make sure you remain anonymous, please use the Proton Mail, folks. Thank you.
And we do have a link that we can send you directly that you can fill out a form, leave some information about yourself, and where you can also, at the bottom of the form, send us a video up to 100 megabytes. So
yeah, it's actually 100 megabytes per file, up to a gigabyte in files.
Okay.
If you email us, we'll send you that link. Unless it's through Proton Mail, we don't want. We want to respect your privacy that way. We'll find other ways to get the video from you. But yes, please reach out to us and we'll give you that link to give us the video, and we'll look into it. One of the things that we're going to be looking into in the future is with Levi Audits and what's going on in his world. We don't want to spill all the beans on that yet, but we're still working on getting that information going now that he's joined our team. So shout out to Levi. Make sure you go like and subscribe and hit to his channel. And thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget our other Community Watch members down in the links are in the description. And if you want to become a virtual Community Watch member, which I'm giving away 5 gift subscriptions tonight to the Sacramento Community Watch Watchman level status. So stick around. As soon as we're done with this, we're on page 9 of 12. We're almost done with this, and then we're going to get into our feature video for the night. So,
which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
This is also, wait. We were doing 25. We left off at 25. So that was here, fighting words. Okay. This court should also rule that no facts existed in the record to support the finding that the defendant specifically intended to interfere with Tony the Tyrant's investigation, or that the defendant's conduct constituted fighting words or physical interference. In this sum, the court should determine that the defendant must be acquitted of the charges against him. In the alternative, the court should remand this back to the lower court for clarification.
Pause real quick. You know what we should do after this opening that our attorney had put together for us? We should play the video of when I got arrested detained by Satella.
That's a good idea.
We should actually play the video from when I started across the street and walked up. Because it's only
your video. Okay, yeah, we can play your video. I thought you were wanting to play the whole.
No.
Do you see the color that I am? Am I going to be famous to you and putting on your YouTube video?
Phrasing.
Yeah, he's on the YouTube video for sure. For sure. Remember, he said, "Hi YouTube." Remember, he said, "Hi YouTube, YouTube famous."
Do you see the color that I am?
Yeah.
Who is
Funny as hell.
He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name? That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole. And his cousin? He's an asshole too, sir. Gun is made first class. Philip asshole. How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo! Keep firing assholes. Anywho.
That's hilarious.
Okay. The municipal court failed to make a credibility of determination with regard to Tony the Tyrant running the record capable of review. This court. Oh, did I read that already? No, I haven't. Okay. The court will not second guess the trial court's credibility determination where one exists. And they refer to Clancy versus State down here below. However, the court is prevented However, this court is prevented from analyzing the legal issues downstream from a credibility determination where one does not exist, thus denying its ability to conduct a full review. A determination of Tony the Tyrant's credibility is essential here for certain findings of fact. Did Tony the Tyrant truly not recognize defendant as the First Amendment auditor who had filmed and mocked him 6 weeks prior?
He knew I would.
Oh, for sure.
This is relevant to determine both whether Tony the Tyrant truly doubted defendant's motives and whether Tony the Tyrant detained defendant on a pretext as retribution.
Absolutely.
Either specifically for the earlier interaction or because of his dislike of the FAA movement, or as I'm adding, because he found out that he was called bald, rude, and disgusting.
And that his family, right, and that his family in Los Angeles, remember what he told the judge?
He
said,
cried to the judge. Yes, he cried to the judge.
Yeah, they telling me about the video. Yeah, I'm sure they did. You're the one out here violating people's rights. Do your fucking job better.
For real.
Baldy.
This is also relevant to the question whether Tony the Tyrant was distracted or interrupted by defendant's conduct as opposed to angered or triggered by the same.
Mm-hmm.
Tony the Tyrant's credibility may also be necessary to resolve a factual dispute over the distances between defendant and Tony the Tyrant, Miss Anderson, and the vehicle. A lay witness, Reno News Now, offered testimony about measurements he had taken of the scene as recreated to the best of his ability after reviewing the body cam footage. Mr. Reno News Now estimated the distance between the defendant and Officer Sotelo to be 10 to 15 feet. It was 16. We maxed out the tape. I think I got it here somewhere. Do I still have it here?
The little cheap tape measure, or you bought it because we thought it would be.
The Walmart one? Yeah. Do I have it in my desk out here?
We literally drove to Walmart, folks, and got that tape measure.
Yeah, after we got out of it was right after we got out of court for your arraignment. Mm-hmm. We drove out to Walmart. We got a tape measure, and we were going along the lines of the 10-foot golden rule that us auditors use. And we thought, a 16-foot should surely be good enough. And one thing about people with ADHD, a lot of us have a problem with time and distance. So distance kind of escapes us. Chief can point out the distance between people fairly accurately, but ask me, I
mean,
half a city block.
What'd you say, Levi?
Everybody sees distance different,
Yeah. So we thought 16 feet would be enough. We maxed out that tape measure to where he was standing, which was 16 feet. And then we maxed out twice to where Tony the Tyrant wanted him to stand. So, 32 feet. So
clearly he wanted me to stand somewhere or stand at the point where I couldn't record him no longer. I couldn't hear what he was saying, couldn't see what he was doing. It's crazy. He could have taken a crack rock out of his shirt and put it in the car.
Nah, for real. No,
I mean, you're not. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Happens.
I mean,
that shit happens, man.
This is why everybody should record law enforcement.
And they say that we don't have you a problem recording, but as soon as they add that word "but" or "however" or as soon as they add an injunctive declaration, their argument goes out the window. Clearly, it is about recording because if anybody else that's walking around without a camera can walk up to you like Mama Watch. Mm-hmm. Like Mama Watch did in the video, then that's why they give you police tape, Tony the Tyrant.
Right. And he was inventorying that old ass car from 1818 that he had no keys to. So I mean, I don't understand what more he could have done but sit his stale ass right there and have a conversation with Holly, who was scared that I was standing there but had her back turned towards me. Stupid.
He just clearly didn't want to be on camera.
Exactly.
That's what it is, really.
He's crusty.
Because he thought Chief England was nosy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like he said in the other video prior. He said, "Oh, you just nosy people." Well, it's crusty officers.
Anyways, getting back to it, Mr. News Now estimated the distance between Officer Sotelo to be 10 to 15 feet. while Tony the Tyrant testified that the distance was only about 5 feet. Defendant expressly asked the municipal court to make these crucial credibility determinations. The municipal court did not do so, rendering its finding of guilt incomplete and therefore necessary to clarify on remand if not permitted for other reasons. Again,
It just makes you want to laugh, doesn't it?
it makes you want to laugh.
For real.
And again, if they want to argue distance, they're going to make case law on distance with you. It's just plain and simple. It's going to come down to it. They're going to try to fight this tooth and nail, and they're going to wind up creating case law for distance. And then now we're going to have an even shorter distance coming out of it.
Yeah, they struck down the 8-foot rule, so.
Well, yeah, we called it the silver rule for a little while. The 10-foot golden rule was the 10-foot silver rule because of Chili DeCastro being found guilty in municipal court until he wound up winning on his appeal, and it became the golden rule again. So,
right.
And again, it's nothing in the law. It's just a golden rule that we follow is 10 feet, unless it's our rule in Sacramento Community Watch. When it's a one-on-one, it's 21, which means it's when it's one auditor and one police officer, you make sure you're 21 feet back because that's their rule. But once we beat this, it's going that rule's going away. But
and that's only me as the chief. That's just one of our rules, like one of our procedures but 21
that we came up with because of this.
Right, even if there's only one officer, you can still get closer than 21 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, they know who we are. They know what we do. They know we're out First Amendment auditor, journalists.
We took that as a safety precaution because of Tony the Tyrant.
Right.
And now that the Reno police know that we're here, that rule has been a little bit more lax. But anywho, let's get back to this. We're on page 10 of 12 here, so we're almost done here. The municipal court failed to make a factual finding in regard to the distance the defendant stood from Officer Sotelo, rendering the record incapable of full review. If the municipal court had made a factual finding regarding the distance between defendant and Tony the Tyrant at the time immediately prior to Tony the Tyrant's detaining defendant, this court would not disturb it. 28. Let's see here. Clancy versus State. Oh, we missed a footnote. Okay, so back up here, we missed a footnote. I'm sorry, guys. Again, ADD. Defendant and Tony the Tyrant to be 10 to 15 feet, while Tony the Tyrant testified the distance was only about 5 feet. So number 27 down here says, Mr. News Now's testimony is absent from the transcript, apparently due to 35 minutes missing from courtroom audio. See transcript, page 62, line 1. Also missing from the testimony is Tony the Tyrant regarding his training on safe distances to maintain from non-officers during an investigation. As of this writing, the undersigned counsel is attempting to learn whether those recordings are irretrievably lost or merely were not transmitted to the transcriber. And I'd like to point out, folks, we covered all of that on our live streams when we listen to the court audio that I paid for. So it's out there. I have it. We can get it to him.
That is sad. How is it missing?
We want to know too. And hopefully we're going, I don't think it's Miss Schumann has anything. This is the courts. So,
all she had to do was say something to them.
Well, here's the thing, folks. We're going to let Mr. Edgerton continue to do his work. We're not going to interfere with this other than letting him know that we have the audio. So we'll just leave it at that, folks.
That's just suspicious to me, though.
This is
for sure.
Very
testimony
suspicious.
Is absent from the transcript, apparently due to 35 minutes of missing courtroom audio. Also missing is testimony from Officer Sotelo regarding his training on safe distances to maintain from. That's stupid.
That
was
I believe we had, and I believe we covered it. We would have to go back and listen to our live streams, folks, but we have 3 live streams covering the entire court audio. And I do remember hearing audio about him, about that 21 feet. I believe I heard him say something about 21 feet. But my 35 missing, my testimony being absent due to 35 minutes of missing courtroom audio, that is scary. And I heard, and we know for a fact because all parties were present when I was there, because I was the last one to be the witness. So yeah, I remember my testimony. I remember we went over it. So would not disturb it. So again, he's referencing, okay, so court would not disturb it. So he was referencing case, but the municipal court did not do so when trying to find a factual distance, trying to determine distance. So he goes on to say the relevance of such a determination would have been to resolve the question of how close is too close, a matter that the defendant repeatedly posed to the municipal court. Resolving that the matter is necessary because it's the only way for Nevada law to reconcile two competing principles, the First Amendment right to record police in public, and I'm also going to include here as a footnote NRS 171.1233 that we covered again as well, and the First Amendment. In public. Okay. And the statutory prohibition on interfering with police activity. The municipal court neither attempted to resolve this larger competing principles issue or take on the simpler task of determining, as a matter of fact, the distance at issue. And just as a little insight, folks, Mr. Edgerton did try to get a private investigator. We mentioned that multiple times before, to try to get somebody unaffiliated with what was going on, to go out there and measure the proper distances. But unfortunately, the court did not want to turn it over. There was just a whole bunch of court horseplay going on.
Yeah, wasn't it Schumann who wanted to? She put in a motion to deny the funds for the private investigator.
I think that was part of her motions as well. I mean, we didn't cover a lot of the motions and court documents leading up to it, as we are like we're doing now, because one of the things that we wanted to do, especially that chilled my free speech, was the judge at the time said that he didn't know what was going on here, but he wasn't going to allow me, Reno News Now, to defame the police by recording the court, what was going on in court. So again, if I was allowed into court, we would have had this audio that they're apparently missing. We would have had the court audio of them taking the ex parte request for the transcripts and turning it into a whole case on it in front of the judge. But no, they didn't record that case. So there's just a whole bunch of court horseplay going on here. So no wonder why we're appealing it. And thank you, Mr. Edgerton, for pointing this out, all these shady things. Let's see here. The municipal court neither attempted to resolve this larger competing principles issue nor take it on the simpler task of determining, as a matter of fact, the distance at issue. As with the failure to make credibility determination discussed supra, the municipal court's failure to make the factual finding renders its conviction incapable of appellate review by this court, requiring remand, meaning sent back to the lower case courts, if the conviction is not otherwise permitted. Okay, page 11, we're on part E. Even accepting the municipal court's analytical framework, there was insufficient evidence to sustain its determination of guilt. And here's the big thing, folks. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Defendant has argued supra that the municipal court's analysis was flawed in numerous ways. It failed to require proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It did not make adequate mens rea determination under Wilson, and it did not make necessary credibility of determinations or factual findings. Even if the court would excuse such of these shortcomings, it would still reverse the municipal court's finding of guilt because the evidence supporting it was insufficient. In conducting this analysis, the court is required to view all evidence in the light most favorable to the prosecution which prevailed at trial. And 29 was Brass versus State. He's just referencing that. Okay, so the municipal court found the defendant guilty of the offense because it determined that the defendant's conduct distracted Tony the Tyrant during his investigation of the suspect vehicle. Specifically, the municipal court found the defendant was so close to Tony the Tyrant immediately prior to being detained that Tony the Tyrant had to take his attention away from the investigation and focus on the potential threat by the defendant. This determination cannot survive even the differential review that this court must give it. Assuming arguendo, I gotta look that up. Arguendo is a Latin legal term meaning the sake of argument. Okay, so assuming for the sake of argument, see, that's how I would have put it. Assuming for the sake of argument that Tony the Tyrant had no subjective recollection of who the defendant was, that Tony the Tyrant noticed the defendant's non-recording hand at his side, and that Tony the Tyrant was unable to determine that the defendant was unarmed, there is still insufficient evidence that the defendant distracted Tony the Tyrant from his investigation by coming closer. Until Tony the Tyrant hailed the defendant and ordered him to get out of the street, the defendant was recording Tony the Tyrant from across the street at a distance of approximately 30 feet.
I would have stayed there.
It is undisputed that this was lawful. 30. That is, setting aside any purported concerns over defendant obstructing the travel lane. Right. He was not obstructing the travel lane. He was behind the red truck, like he was going into the red truck.
Like I'm standing in the goddamn street.
Right.
Then he said that I caused cars to move over to the next lane.
That's not on body cam. Not on body cam at all. Where's the evidence?
He's crusty. He lies. All of it's getting thrown out.
Do
Stupid.
they wear body cameras?
Yep.
Oh yeah. No, we had the body cam. We got it all on video.
Yeah, we got it all. I want to let's get through this so I can play that arrest. We're going at about 2 hours. We're gonna stop it at about 2 hours.
Yeah, we're gonna stop it at 2 hours. Yeah.
Probably 2 hours and 10 or 15.
Yeah. It is undisputed that this was lawful, non-interfering conduct. This must be so because to conclude otherwise would mean that the First Amendment auditors could not conduct their constitutionally protected activities at any time their presence drew the attention of an active duty police officer.
Thank you. Wow.
And would not allow us to operate under NRS 171.1233, folks.
Just like, what's that hog thing with the little whack-a-mole?
Yeah, he's just whack-a-moling all their all their arguments. This is impermissible construction of the statute that the court cannot accept. 31. What does 31 here say? Wilson versus First Judicial Court. Again, quoting Wilson. And my question is how many times is Ms. Schumann going to try to misquote Wilson? You know how many times she's misquoted things in her pleadings so far? Oh my gosh.
She's talking about Mr. Wilson from that show. You don't know.
This defendant's conduct can only be punished if it did something more than draw Officer Sotelo's attention.
Right. And
to that extent, Tony the Tyrant was distracted beyond initially noticing defendant because he chose to thus be distracted.
That's what I was about to say.
Tony the Tyrant chose to flush defendant out of his initial position.
When he could have left me alone. He could have minded his own damn crusty business and left me alone.
He interfered with himself.
Yeah, he interfered with me. Am I right?
Tony the Tyrant chose to suspend further investigatory activity as defendant transited 3 city blocks to approach the scene.
Thank you.
Tony the Tyrant chose to watch his back as against defendant, even though he was conducting a daylight investigation on a public street, even though he knew no more about Miss Anderson's identity or intent than he did about defendants. And even though he could not meaningfully proceed with his investigation until Timothy returned with the key or until a backup arrived. Even when viewing all disputed facts in the light most favorable to the prosecution, and even accepting the municipal court's entire analytical frame, the guilty verdict here cannot be sustained because any distraction experienced by Tony the Tyrant was a result of his decision to pause his investigation and focus on the defendant. Well before the defendant approached him, and a rational tier of fact could not have concluded otherwise. I agree. 100%. If anything, he should be charged with interfering with an officer. He interfered with his own investigation, folks.
Yep.
Right.
And interfered with my right to record.
Right.
So-
like you're about to commit a crime too, like with your own camera on, like filming yourself. Like what kind of stupid
I'm robbing you. I'm robbing you.
And I'm sorry, folks. The only time that I've ever known any stupid idiot to try to record their own crime was when somebody was trying to take out President Trump on a golf course, or the incoming President Trump on a golf course.
Right.
That's the only time I've ever heard of anybody trying to actually record their own crime, folks.
Like,
and if you
it's
try to
rare.
And he wasn't a First Amendment auditor or cop.
and he wasn't a First Amendment auditor, he was some crazy nut job who thought he would gain fame and notoriety. There's some sick, twisted individuals, but when we're doing First Amendment auditor, we want to leave the police alone as much as possible.
And
We
not
don't
to
want to
mention,
interfere.
not to mention, I want to get this out. NRS 171.1233 also says they cannot stop, seize the recording, pause it, any of that. He stopped my recording. Statello did.
Right.
Yep.
He pushed stop.
Conclusion: for the foregoing reasons, this court should vacate the municipal court's guilty finding and acquit the defendant as a matter of law. In the alternative, this court should vacate the guilty finding and acquit the defendant based on undisputed facts in the record. Otherwise, this court should vacate the guilty finding and remand the case back to municipal court for further proceedings and or findings of fact. And then affirmation and other things. So that's it for that document. So I'm going to delete that off of there. And
Awesome job on behalf of Kyle Edgerton, the attorney. Awesome job. Phenomenal.
I'm going to go into audit. Oh, no, that's not where I want to go.
One moment.
Is this it?
Welcome to Sacramento Community Watch. Look like we have Officer Satello here.
Yep, this is his arrest. Hey guys, I gotta take. I'm gonna pause it for a second here. Chief, I'm gonna let you take it over from here. I gotta take a bio break, so I'll be right back, and we'll let you play this out and give your commentary.
Yeah, roll the video out though. Roll it. Push pause. Yeah. It's going to be vehicle 192. Look at him. Officer Satello.
Goofy.
We've had runs with him before. What are those shoes? He has a really bad attitude. Really bad. K-walkers. Mind you, the car is locked. Nothing he can do.
Right. You just seem paranoid.
I'm not in the street. There we go. Look at him looking at me. How the hell are you investigating a stolen vehicle? You're paying attention to me. That's so stupid. Look at him. Look at him.
Locked on.
Yeah, and he has his flashlight. Watch him flash it. Mind you, the lady in the back with the brown red hair. Not in the street. You good? No, I'm good.
That's illegal too.
There he goes, giving unlawful directives, telling me to get out the street. Who would even do that? Flash a light, stupid.
Well, you don't want to be on camera, and that's illegal. You can't blind the camera with your light. You could actually charge him for that, I think.
It's prior restraint, called prior restraint.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He's calling backup. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to cross the crosswalk so we can get a better view of him. Gonna be vehicle 192, as stated before. Occupy one time. Look at Holly. She's walking around. Mind you, she said that made her scared that I walked up, but she had her back turned towards me. How the hell are you scared of me and not scared of Satella?
For real, like that's just mind blowing.
His shoes alone would make me scared. Come on now. Tripping. So let's go ahead and cross the street. See what he says then. About, oh, get on the street, you're going to get hit. Now we have all free range on a public sidewalk. Yep. Be able to record, see what's going on. 210392 is that unique ID number for this officer. How's it going, Officer Sotelo? Stay over where? I'm on a public sidewalk, dude. There's no tape up. You don't know.
So I'm trying to investigate. Okay.
We understand. We understand investigations.
Go over there.
What's wrong with right here?
Because I can't have somebody behind my back while I'm trying to investigate.
Embarrassing.
I'm good. I'm not going to be detained, okay?
Why would I be detained?
Because you're being detained.
Okay. He slammed me right up against the window. And that was it.
This officer, he bothers me, and I don't even have to deal with the motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're halfway across the country from him.
I know. He bothers me, though. Like, I mean, just watching how, like, he acts.
Disgusting behavior by Tyrant Anthony Sotelo, badge 15032. If you guys are ever in the city of Reno, look out for him. If he stops you and pulls you over, you better record. If anybody in Reno pulls you over, you better record.
Well, and you also better ask for his supervisor. I mean, that's one thing that you should be doing anytime that you get in touch with this officer is you need to ask for his supervisor right away. Yep. Tell him, I know you're Tony the Tyrant from YouTube, but I want your supervisor here.
Yep.
Okay, folks. So it's now that time of the stream where I am gifting 5 memberships to Sacramento Community Watch. 5 gift memberships, and here we go, folks. And if you're the lucky recipient, thank you and welcome to the club. You are now a watchman. So,
yeah.
So thank you for joining, and we hope that you enjoy your gift memberships here. So, okay, so now to our feature video presentation tonight. So thank you for listening to me drone on. Take a moment to please like, share, and subscribe. Again, all of our watchmen are down in the links below in the description. Please like, share, and subscribe to all of our content. It really helps the analytics, even though other YouTube creators say otherwise. Possibly, I don't know. We're fairly new to this, but we're enjoying it. So, Chief, why don't we go ahead and tell us about this next video that we're going to do?
Okay, so this video is recorded, done by Vigil. What is it? Vigil.
Oh, I'm going to have to pull him up here. Let me find
Vigil Antioch. He does some auditing and cop watching in the Pittsburgh and Antioch area, California. Oh my God, this dude is hilarious. If you guys never seen him, like, share, and subscribe to his channel. He does phenomenal work. He's hilarious. He gets the police together.
Give me just a few moments here. I'm getting my computer queued up with his channel so we can show it here.
Should have been had that down.
Let's see here. Okay, I got it here. Let me switch back over to here and go share screen here. Window. Oh, I don't have it up right here. Oh, here it is. It opened it up in Safari. So this is Vigil Antioch. Yeah, go ahead and hit the subscribe button like I'm doing, folks. We're going to be watching one of his videos. It's, I believe, this one here.
Let him know we sent you.
Yeah, shout out and let him know that we sent you. Greatly appreciate him as well here. So let me remove this.
You know what's so funny? He
What's
just
that?
did a audit with Bay Area Transparency and San Joaquin Valley and a couple of other people just a couple of days ago in Sacramento at the Capitol.
Oh, cool.
I was just in Sacramento and I was like, "What is Sacramento at the city Capitol, whatever?"
You guys got to show us some love there, Bay fam. Come on, let us know when he's in town so that way we can coordinate. Come on, Bay fam.
Yeah, I don't really let people know I'm going in town either, but one day we'll meet up with everybody.
Yeah, we will. So let's get going here.
Shut up,
That's
you
what you
fucking
need to get
idiot.
it out, retard.
You're a fucking. You guys
I
are.
have your ID.
You guys are
Right, get the
fucking
fuck out.
idiots.
This is the trespassing I'm trying to issue you, but you're refusing. So I'm giving you a verbal.
Yeah.
Okay, you
yeah.
got that?
Here, I got a verbal for you. Fuck off.
That's fine.
Here's a visual.
Okay, guys, I would like to point out that apparently that there is foul language, so viewer discretion is advised. If you've been with us for the past 1 hour and 40 minutes, we do thank you. But yeah, we're getting into some of the more neuro-spicy stuff here.
It goes down, y'all. Let me know. Hey.
Put it up and go on William Rourke on scene. I'm sorry, who's on scene? William Rourke. William Rourke.
This is the Contra Costa County Law Enforcement Training Center.
Just to let everybody know, Contra Costa Sheriff, fucking horrible. They were violating.
They're
They will
trying
take
to.
your drugs and smoke them too. So let you know.
Wait a second. They were trying to trespass him from public property.
Yeah. Contra Costa. They're stupid. Look at it, dude. Look at the sheriff backed up into the red.
If they need training, this is what exactly they need training on, folks, is the law. You can't do that.
Exactly.
It looks like we were doing some training. It might have just broken up. I just fucking missed it. Looks like.
Hey, I need to pause it for a second here. I want to give a shout out to our newest watchman out there, virtual watchman who joined thanks to my gift memberships. Welcome aboard, full blown atheist. Welcome, Diana Chica. Welcome, Princess Pie plays bass. Welcome, Bingo's mom, and welcome, Shaimaya. I hope I'm pronouncing all those right. You are now official virtual watchmen to the Sacramento Community Watch Network. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard.
Training or something? Yeah, they're gonna black the fuck out.
Raising.
Look at this is a trip. This entire parking lot, okay, is all for the law enforcement training center here. Look at this. Every single car in this parking lot is backed in. Like every car, all the way around. Every car is backed in. There's one exception, that Chevy truck. Actually, there's a couple exceptions on that row right there. Hey, can I ask you something real quick? I thought it was really weird. It just dawned on me after I was here for a minute. Every single car in this lot is backed in to the parking space.
I think it's,
why is that?
I don't actually know.
I
but
thought,
think
is it
it's-
storage or something for?
I know. Like what?
Well, and I'm going to put it out there. I was never a person to back in, but since I got a car now that has a rear view backup camera, oh my God.
I'm not in all the time too.
It's nice.
It's like, yeah, it's nice. I can understand it, but I was never a fan of backing into a parking spot up until I got a rear view camera that could put me right into where I needed to go.
No, it's nice when you got the camera.
Are these towed cars or
No, these are all owned cars
by
by different people.
trainees or cops that work here?
Right. I think it is something that's taught to back in.
I wonder why these guys didn't. There's a couple over there that aren't.
So like nobody told me to do that, so I
Right, that's why I came and asked, because you backed
but I
in.
don't always do it.
Right.
So I have to ask that question.
So these are all trainees stuff too?
Mostly.
Look
Or
at all the
instructors.
illegal window tints on all these cars. Look at them all. That
is true.
half of them.
That is true.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Lost for thee, not for me.
Of course.
Crazy.
That's what I was thinking too. It's just, yeah. I really wish we could write out citizen parking tickets and such like that.
Look at you don't have any, but look at them all. Every car, man. Anyway, I'll let you get to it. Thank you.
A security guard blocked him from leaving.
Oh gosh.
How much you want to bet it's Allied Universal?
Oh, even worse.
You a
From
cop?
Sierra Pacific Properties.
Are you a cop?
I'm the supervisor of
Are
Sierra Pacific.
you?
A supervisor of security.
Oh man.
AKA no authority. No authority whatsoever.
Hey, his vest kind of looks like mine though. He ain't got a radio. Oh, he do got a radio, but he ain't working this mic right here. His shit look cheap.
He's been eating a lot of Burger King.
Yeah, his shit real budget.
Shout out to Jim. Thank you for subscribing. And shout out to Chili for sending him over.
What's up,
Glad
Jim?
to have you aboard.
That's what's up.
A cop? Do you speak
listen,
English?
Listen, I'm asking you to leave the property.
You stopped me from leaving, you
Have a
fucking
nice
idiot.
day. I'm letting you know if you come back, you're subject to arrest.
Bullshit.
Well, I'm letting you know.
You have to be trespass warned. You don't even know the fuck I
I'm
am.
giving you a trespass warning right now, a verbal. You want to give me ID? I'll give you a written one.
You asked.
Dude, get that Snickers out of your front pocket and back up.
Bro.
He thinks he's all badass with his blaze orange taser strapped to his chest.
Of course. He
And-
can't
and
make
the
the squad. That's why he's a security guard. Like
And the fake tin badge.
Yeah.
He-
Oh, man, this is hilarious. Look at his gloves, though. Those look like the gloves from that movie, Home Alone. Remember the dude, Harry?
Wanna be punk ass pig. That's what he is.
oh, 100%. You can tell just by looking at him.
Yeah, did he have a do-rag on underneath the hat that has an unofficial logo? You know he stinks.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah,
sure,
but
for sure.
He's musty.
He's got nothing better to do. And here's the thing: is why does a law enforcement training facility need a security guard?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I first heard security guard. I'm like, wait, a security guard at a police facility?
Yeah, they hire the security because they can pay them $9 to $15 an hour. Instead of having
Well, and here's the bullshit thing is they don't actually pay them $9 an hour. That's how much he's probably getting paid, $9, $10, $15 an hour. What the city is actually paying is closer to $30 to $50 an hour because they have to take administrative fees off the top.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want that badge for my better half gloves too. He probably got those because he makes his wife go home and make her call mama.
Yeah. Is that Pepper's? Oh man, his whole uniform is just. And look at his partner Clover over there on the right hand side.
No. He dresses like he dresses like this so he can go home to his wife and have his wife make him call him daddy.
He doesn't look like Sub-Zero. Finish him.
Let's keep
For
going,
my
guys.
ID, are you a police officer?
No,
Do I
sir.
need to
Then
get the police? Fuck off.
You can fuck off too and head off the
Have a
property.
nice
Who
day,
the
man.
fuck are you?
You can fuck off the
Have a nice
property.
day,
I need names from both of you.
Have a nice
And who
day.
you work for.
You can get off the property now, sir.
You just
You've been trespassed.
Did you hear me? I heard you, dick breath.
Okay, so can you head
Give me your fucking name.
I don't
Clover
think
with
you
what company? Clover.
Okay.
This
With
man
who?
called him Dick
The company
Breath.
that sent us out here, sir.
Which company,
We don't
dickhead?
give you shit, so can you head off the property now?
Oh, look, he busts out his camera.
Cam back.
He works for the state and he's creating a public record. Guess what? Oh, yeah.
And he called him Dick Breath. That was hilarious.
That was
Excuse me for
hilarious.
laughing so loud, folks, but that was hilarious. Dick Breath.
Again, energy for energy. He might have escalated it just a little bit, but you know, it's still warranted energy.
Oh, definitely.
Give me your name and birthday date.
Shut up,
That's
you
what you
fucking
need to get it out,
idiot.
retard.
Birth of date. What the hell is a birth of date? Y'all know what that is?
I don't know. It's maybe a bullet, something along the lines of a bullet of gun.
Stupid.
Look how he's holding
You're
that
a
paper.
fucking. You guys
I
are.
have your ID.
You guys are
Alright, get the
fucking
fuck out.
idiots.
This is the trespassing.
The most stupidest thing a security officer could say is, "I need your ID."
Yeah.
That's you don't need nothing. You need another Twinkie before you need my ID. Oh my God. Do they not train these security officers on anything, especially when they're in public?
Right.
Not on private property like Walmart. I'm talking like public, like in this place.
I'm trying to issue you, but you're refusing. So I'm giving you a verbal.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
you got that?
Here, I got a verbal for you. Fuck off.
That's fine.
Here's a visual.
Hey. Merry
Okay.
Christmas, Happy
Yeah.
New Year.
Suck a dick,
Happy holidays, man.
clown.
Don't come back.
Here's a visual.
That's public property. So shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You know nothing.
Oh yeah, do that. Definitely.
What's up, Towner?
Hey, Towner's a super tyrant, black female chick, super tyrant. Check her out.
What's that? I can't hear you over that freeway. What's that? Because it's public property.
I know, but they.
I know, but
Right.
you just shot,
No.
officer. You just shot yourself in the foot. I know,
Right.
but
Wow.
no, you don't know. If you having to qualify that statement with a but, you don't know.
Work for this property.
They work for this property?
They work for the whole.
Right, but this is
Oh, I see what's going on. They're in a shopping center. Did you see the shopping center sign, the big shopping center sign over there in one of the previous like motions that he was in? So apparently there's like staples and whatnot in the shopping center. So apparently she's saying that those guys work for the entire property and they're asking you to leave. The problem with that, folks, is that the state has moved in. And when the state moves in or when the city moves in, it becomes public property overridden. So it's no longer private public, it's public now. So therefore, if he wants to, he can come onto that property, go right into that training facility, even after they trespassed him off of the rest of the property. He can still go right up into that training facility and do a FOIA, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Right. Look at her nails. Ain't she turning on her camera?
Yeah, she's now turning on her camera. She should have turned it on before she even got out of the car.
Exactly.
public property.
So the whole parking lot is public property, but if they actually leave, you have to leave.
Well, no,
No.
this is public property. You can't get trespass from public property without.
Yeah, because it's part of Sierra Pacific property.
No, that doesn't work that way, Towner. I promise you. Look into it.
So Sierra Pacific property contacted them to have you removed from the property.
Right.
They own this property. They don't own inside of the
But when you rent to a government facility like this, access to this
Public.
becomes public property. This
Otherwise,
is treated
how do they
just like
get that?
DMV and
Yeah, the public land or the private landowner forfeits their private rights when they allow the government, a public entity, to move into their property. It then becomes public property until your public tenant moves out. Yep.
Counter,
Pittsburgh,
Chopper,
same
you
deal.
go back home.
So
And they work at DMV as well. So if they
Okay.
contact you at the DMV property, as long as they're in the parking lot and they tell you to leave and you return, you've committed the crime of trespass.
they can't make you leave public property.
They can.
They
It's owned by
cannot.
Sierra Pacific.
Okay, it doesn't.
The signs are right
Honestly, Towner, call supervisor because that's not the way it
there. We
works.
could take you to the supervisor, but they want you to go to jail. They're requesting you be arrested.
Wow.
So I would call the supervisor.
Yeah, because that's not the way it
You
works. This is
better.
pub-
You better, because guess what? You're the arresting officer. You're the one who's going to take the fall. And if you're going to let a security officer with no law enforcement training tell you that they want this person arrested because they're on public property now, then you're the one who's going to go down in flames, officer.
Yeah, she has a duty to intervene if something like that, or any type of violation happens like that. She has a duty to intervene. She should tell them straight up, like, can't do it, man.
Well, she clearly just doesn't even know the law. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if she's trying to say that, I mean, like Jacob said, like shooting herself in the foot.
Yeah.
public property. Look at fired up, huh?
You look like a wrestler.
So
Look how he's
again,
standing.
look at the professional on the left and the wannabe on the right.
Correction. So Visual Antioch has a lot of videos with this lady. She is a gigantic tyrant.
Well, I'm going to take that's why I used professional in quotes like that, because she's supposed to be the professional.
Yeah.
And if
as far
Antioch
as the
is
uniforms is concerned, hers looks a little professional than his does. His shit looks all out of place.
Sloppy.
so
Yeah, it looks like he just got stuff glued on her, don't it? With so much glue.
This is the one on the left is I'm doing my job. The one on the right is I want to be a Punisher.
Oh yeah.
Judge Dredd, huh?
Judge Dredd. I want to be some sort of superhero, and the only way I can do that is if I play Popo. And this is him playing Popo because he can't make it in the police force. He wouldn't even make it as a watchman.
Yeah, definitely not on our team.
Yeah, this is public property, even though it's owned. I understand that happens all the time, but when they rent this facility out, okay, to a government entity, this becomes public property.
Right.
You can't be trespassed for public property. Your taxpayers, your tax dollars, my tax dollars, everybody's tax dollars pays for this. We own this. Right now. Wait, same way you're renting a house works. If you rent somebody a house, essentially they own that house from that time. You can't just go in anytime you want. There's a lot of rules. It's treated like they own the house. Like you wanna get physical, huh? I'm just dying for confrontation. Wrong one.
Holy shit. Oh, man, he's ready.
So SR Global, and both for SR Global. That's so funny that they give these guys badges. It just sends the wrong message, man.
Crusty ass tasers.
No, I was just doing like.
So the security name is SR Global. I don't know if you guys caught it. It's called SR Global.
Like I did over at the police department. Look at how many cars in here. These guys trainees. Look at here. This is a trip anyway. I just want to point this out. Look at every car. Every car in this parking lot is backed in. Isn't that crazy looking? Is that why they do it? Because I asked one. I got this radio in my ear. But look at all the illegal tints on all these cars.
You hear Towner? She said that's how they teach us. Well, they shouldn't be fucking teaching you to back up. They should be teaching you all the fucking laws.
Yeah.
Just stupid. Back in like this. Well, why don't you guys teach them the First Amendment then?
And the problem is they never back into any place. They always park wherever in the F they want to, unless they're parking in their own lots, as you can clearly see. So that's the only time that they require them to back in is in their parking lots. So why even train them on it? Why waste the 30 minutes on it?
Right. Use that 30 minutes for the Constitution. Stop teaching police officers the dumbest shit that doesn't help out with the public or any issues that the public is dealing with. They're just fucking annoying.
Big time.
Hey, Towner, I gotta go. Am I detained? Oh. I'm not free
now
to
we got
go.
illegal detainment now. Wow.
He's not coming.
Okay.
No, it's no disrespect to you.
Okay.
He's not coming because, so this is private property.
So you guys gonna give me a trespass warning?
And it's gonna be another report for me.
That's fine.
So here's the issue. They don't want you to come back to the property. And they're gonna trespass you. You have your trespass? They're gonna trespass you.
Okay, but this is public property.
This applies in Sierra Pacific.
Okay, who gave you that order? Who was the sergeant?
Thompson.
He doesn't know better than that.
So this is, you can argue it.
I will. No, yeah, that's what I do.
But you can't come back here.
Okay.
That's one of the shitty ass, ashy ass lines. You can argue it in court. Argue it in court because they'd rather you waste your time and waste the taxpayers' money, and blah blah blah. Because these fucktards don't know the fucking laws.
Yep.
And guess what? They paid them to go sit in that courtroom for all that overtime that they're doing this BS for. So they don't care. They're making money. I guarantee you put any officer on a strict salary, on a strict anything salary, and then go, okay, you're only allotted an additional 5 hours of overtime in any given week before we start paying you. But if we pay you, 5 or 10 or whatever the number is, if we have to start paying you overtime, we're going to start digging into why you're hanging out and around and doing this BS.
Exactly.
Their whole thing should be more efficient, and it's not, and it's just downright sad.
Yep, waste of taxpayers' money. That's all they're about.
Now, just to be clear, that is what? Whose property are we talking about?
This parking lot belongs to Sierra Pacific. All of that property belongs to Sierra Pacific.
On the opposite side of the road?
Both.
Okay,
So
all the way down?
This Outback Steakhouse, the one across the street, they own both of these properties.
Okay, so all the way down.
Look at Bigfoot back there in the security uniform. Look how he's looking.
What is he messing? What is he doing?
Getting the trespass.
Bro, he's ready. He's ready to get some action.
Well, and he thinks he's some shit too because he's got bars on his sleeve.
Oh, he got the sunglasses on too. He's cool.
He got the stunning shades on.
This right here is both of these people are definitions of tyrant. Oh my god.
Yeah, shitty 1 and shitty 2, and it says police on hers and security on his. They look like twins.
See, in my opinion, this is impersonating an officer.
Or animal control officer.
Security should be in a bright yellow shirt. Big old bright yellow, big bird yellow shirt.
Yep.
Big black letters on the back that says security.
For real, bro. This man is a joke. Look, is that something hanging off the front of his vest right there? Down at the bottom?
I don't know what in the heck's hanging off of it. He's got so much stuff, and I'm surprised he's able to walk with his big old donut belly.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, he's so big, his vest is about to explode, bro.
Yeah. I know she's looking at him like, "Where are you going? Afghanistan for a shootout?" I mean,
we got to keep going, guys. I got to get out of here.
Okay. But this guy's got some strike. Lombardi, this is public property. What's that?
Not during the academy.
Not what?
It's the academy.
Right. Government property. Public property.
No, this area here is part of the shopping center.
Right. But this is a government facility.
Yeah, but it's not owned by them.
It doesn't matter. They rent it out to a government facility, just like renting a house out. This is now public property. Yeah, this is public use.
You see him throw his hands up?
Yeah,
I guess you're making a point, but no, I'm gonna stick with what I know. What I know is the layman's version of trespassing.
Bro, look at his face right now. Like
Uncle Fester, Adam's family.
We paid tax dollars to be able to come here. I need to be able to go in there and get record requests, all kinds of things. Yeah, absolutely can. Our tax dollars pay for that. Come on, are you guys for real? What? Are you a sergeant?
No.
Yeah, this is. I mean, just do what you got to do. I mean, but this is, you guys are making a mistake.
I don't know what to tell you, sir.
This is public property. This is
How about the
tax
law?
funded public property.
This is owned by.
Doesn't matter. DMV is the same way. That DMV parking lot you can't be trespassed from there
Little did I know it was about
because it's a government facility. Same way, like some of these places they put DMVs will be in the mall. That's public property during the hours of operation of that. That is public property.
I think the building is, but they have rules and regulations because it's.
That's not laws. Rules and regulations aren't laws.
Mr. Clean is just as clueless as Towner. He needs to go back to selling soaps and mops and some Crystal Clean and some Pine Sol and shit.
How are they moving up ranks without knowing the law?
Right, and how many stripes does he have on his arm? 1, 2,
Two.
3, 4.
Oh, Peps. Yeah, he's got one. Let me see if I can maximize that.
7. 4 years for each one.
Yeah, he's got 7. I thought it was 5 years. Or is it 4 years? I don't know.
Yeah, it's 4 years for each. And he's not what is he, a corporal?
I was about to say, yeah, he's like a corporal or something.
A field training officer. I believe it's FTL for the two. But anyways.
Yeah, let's continue.
Yep.
I understand where you're trying to go with it. I disagree with you.
Okay.
Well, then if you disagree and you're not 100% sure, you need to defer to your supervisor and instead of paying fake it or fake it till you make it. Oh, we had a pig pile. What's the status of the pig pile?
From Sierra Pacific.
Yes.
Okay.
He manages all their commercial property, so I'll
Okay.
let him explain to you
Okay.
about this.
Yeah, so this is all private property.
Right.
So since we've been having numerous issues.
But this is a government facility.
No, it's
Just
not.
the building.
That's not a government facility.
We own the building. We own
That
the land.
that is not government.
We own the land. We own the building.
I understand all
we
that.
own everything. We own
Okay.
all of this.
But you tax dollars rent that?
we own this property. This is
I
private
understand
property.
that 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I own a home that I
That's
rent out.
fine.
Okay.
But in order to get to this area, you have to go on to private property.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're
that's called public access
So you're trespassed from Sierra Pacific property.
from government
This whole
property.
area. This
So
whole area.
so I can't.
Yeah, so that dude right there that just showed up, he needs to stop hitting the pipe before he comes to work because he does not know what the fuck he is talking about. He sounds so stupid. How the hell is there a public building there, a private property around it, but you can't get there? Where's
The government building cannot be an island in a public property in private property.
Yeah, he was right there in that car behind that Andre the Giant right there. And he was hitting the pipe in the car before he walked over there. That's some dumb shit he just said. Dumb.
Well, and this private property management owner or whatever, he's going to find himself in a very big legal lawsuit for denying him his constitutional rights.
Right. He should have just stayed his
Can't
ass.
utilize this government installation anymore that my tax dollars.
Closed anyway. You wouldn't be able to access it.
Let me finish though. It doesn't matter what it is or if it's open or closed. Okay. My tax dollars pay for this. Okay. So you think that because they rent here from you guys, you get to control the public's access to this government facility.
There is no public access inside there. You try to go in there, the door's closed.
This right here
This is
could be public access.
This is
I
private property.
I can go up to the door here.
This is a back and forth
Okay.
that's unnecessary.
You're right. Well, to be honest with you, sir, I came here to see this facility, take some pictures, and cut. As I was leaving, he pulled in, stopped me. Okay, got really ugly with me. Okay. Yeah, just a second though. Yeah, I'll have to get it out of my car, but you know who the fuck I am. Come on. Stopped me from leaving and then tells me to leave. At which point they contacted the police, so I stuck around because I don't want to act like I'm fleeing the scene. I was done here.
There's been multiple situations where you've had altercations with our security.
Look at Uncle Fester right there. Look, all you gotta do is put that on the body of that person right there.
For real.
So my question is it really is he having altercations with your security, or is your security having altercations with him?
Right.
He engaged with him.
Yeah, he pulled up behind him in his car, in his security car, like he was the police.
Right.
Stupid.
And again, it's the security not knowing their effing place.
With your security?
Yeah,
Never.
We have multiple properties in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And there's been other issues. You've also had problems with Officer Towner on our properties. You've had problems with Officer Powell on our properties.
Who's your properties? What are all these properties?
Highland Square Shopping Center, Atlantic Plaza, Oak Hill Shopping Center.
Okay.
I mean, half the shopping centers in
Right.
Pittsburgh.
I'm everywhere, man. I'm everywhere.
I'm aware.
Okay.
Yeah, so any property that Sierra Pacific Property owns, you are formally trespassed from all those shopping centers.
Okay.
So I just want to let you know so that you're aware.
Okay.
So if one of my security guards sees you on the property since you are trespassed, they have the right to detain.
One of my security guards. Fuck your
Wait. You paused it right at a crucial spot. Did you hear him? Then my security guards have the right to detain you. He was getting ready to say that. Yep. My security guards have the right to detain you. Security guards have the right. No, they don't. They do not have the right to detain you. They have the right to observe and report. If they have no reason to detain anybody.
Want to be cops, man.
Oh, I backed it up right to the point. God. Let's hear that real quick.
One of my security guards sees you on the property since you are trespassed, they have the right to detain you on site for trespassing. Then police will be called, and then they will do with you whatever they have to do with you.
Well, I'm going to talk to my attorney.
That's fine. You can. I mean, we have attorneys
nothing
too,
against you. Yeah, nothing against you. You're just doing your job. I get that. But I think there's an understanding of the law here that needs to be clarified. Oh, let me grab it.
No, don't give him your ID, guy, because one, you haven't had
a chance to leave.
You haven't had a chance to leave,
right?
And two, you haven't committed a crime.
Oh, I'm out of here, man. All right. You know, I stuck around just for you.
Why?
Because they said, call Towner. I said, oh, shit. I gotta go pee. I was out of here.
Can we just, what happened to all the officers like this?
Who actually knew the law?
Yeah, I mean, what happened to these type of officers? Now we get butt cracks like this. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
But when I heard
what?
Bunch of John Wayne wannabes.
When I heard Towner was coming, I said, oh, didn't I?
So it's gonna.
Is that for your channel?
No, he's writing his reports.
Yeah.
Hey, dude is still back there fired up. Look at him.
Oh, big time. He ready.
He wants to go hands on.
Ready to attack a pack of ribs.
Oh, back on with the glasses, man.
Of course.
And the real rub here is the reason these guys came in so hot is because these bozos didn't like me out here taking pictures of their cars. So they panicked, and instead of coming out and dealing with it themselves, they called these two clowns.
Well, they have the right to do that, though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
This is private property.
I understand that, sir. I understand that 100%.
Someone's taking pictures.
But you can still be named as a co-conspirator in deprivation of rights under color of law.
Right.
Pictures on private property, people's license plate. we have a right to figure out what's going on and to remove
All
people.
right. Oh, I got all the plates all the way around both sides. Look at this. Check this out. These guys are trainees. Look at how many cars in here have illegal tint on their windows. I mean, I thought the Pittsburgh police station was bad. Look at this. The new wave of cops coming in. There's 75% of these cars have illegal tint.
I'm sure there's a place in the police department that you can file a complaint for all
Well,
that.
these guys aren't cops yet. Just showing the up and coming. Like, I get a good thumbnail of this guy. All right. I just need thumbnails. Come on. It's a business, man.
Okay. Now let me do my business.
Okay.
So you're going to be trespassed from all Sierra Pacific property, okay? That includes
She's a tyrant.
Century Plaza, Delta Gateway is where you're at now.
Dude, wait a minute. Look at all these. There's no address. I don't know where the hell these places are, man.
No, you listen. You're the one violating his fucking rights, you fucking retard.
Century is across the street.
Okay.
Oak Hills is where DMV is. Atlantic Plaza is where... What's Atlantic Plaza?
So Oak Hills
Food
is
Code.
Safeway off of Bailey Road.
Oh.
Highland Square is going to be the DMV.
Is the DMV. Atlantic Plaza is...
So now he's violated his rights twice because now he can't get to the DMV.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Can't use the
Code.
DMV anymore? Is that what
Not
you're
the
saying?
Pittsburgh.
I can't use the Pittsburgh DMV. Are you
gotta
kidding
enter the
me?
property to go into DMV.
Right.
Yes.
So you're saying this piece of paper that you're going to give me prevents me from using government facilities located here.
Yes.
Oh, so I
Also
can't go to
trespass from their
DMV.
apartments. Oak Hills Apartments, Wood Hills Apartments, Pepper Tree Apartments, Cornerstone Apartments, San Marco Villas.
All right.
You're going to sign here acknowledging you understand that you're trespassing.
So
Mr. Rourke.
No, don't sign it. And if they're going to take you to jail over it, put under duress.
Right.
Never sign it. He should never have gave him the ID anyways. Towner knows who he is. She could have wrote it all on there anyway. She didn't need his ID.
This is from
Sierra
Pittsburgh,
Pacific.
right? Yeah, it says Pittsburgh Police Department.
Oh, that is Pittsburgh Police Department.
Okay.
So just a quick recap, folks, in case you missed this. The Pittsburgh Police Department believes that your public access to multiple government facilities located in the city of Pittsburgh, including the Department of Motor Vehicles, is ultimately controlled by Jeff, the strip mall property manager. You can't make this shit
I
up.
know you want your copy.
Wow.
I'm going to give you the green one. That's the best one you can see. And then this one's going to have a case number attached to it, okay? Because we're doing it out of custody.
So who's the rank here? You?
What's that?
You're the highest rank here?
Yes.
Right now?
Highest rank.
You are right now, aren't you? Who is?
I don't
Oh.
have any rank.
You have a corporal. You have 2 stripes. You got...
Yeah, Uncle Fester.
Okay, Mr. I am the supervisor. If you were to ask him for his supervisor, Mr. I am a supervisor is knows that this is wrong and is only backing up doing the back the blue thing, and he's now quickly saying, "Oh, I have no rank here. I have nothing to do with this," because he knows this is wrong.
He got 2 rooftops on his arm. What the hell is he talking about?
And he's got all that years of experience on his sleeve.
Right.
He knows
he ain't got no hair on the top of his damn head. Shit.
He knows better, but he's playing this snort the thin blue line gang stuff.
Oh,
yeah. Look at the security dude. Look, he's still over there to the left, looking. Fuck, man.
Man, he's just goofy.
Look at his
Anyways,
glasses.
we're almost done with this, folks. Let's keep going.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. What is it, 4 years each, huh?
Yeah, Jim,
that's
it
a lot
is.
of service, dude. You think that's good that I can't go to DMV now? You really think that's...
Oh my gosh, guys, they cut off their ID supply. They don't know it yet, but they cut off his ID supply. If they cut him off from the DMV, how is he going to get the DMV cookie for them to ask for if he can't get into the DMV? Right. Do they know what? They can't. He can't supply them their drug of choice because he can't get to the DMV anymore.
They're gonna be feeding. They're gonna be, hey man, you got a little ID something for me to
I know, but they just said, sorry, got it backwards. They just said that I can't use DMV in Pittsburgh now. Do you really think that's true? Do you think that's true?
I don't know what you want me to say, sir.
I want you to say what you think. Do you think that's true?
I'm not in a position to say what I think.
Do you think that? That's a good one. I'm going to give you that one. Hey, do you really think that you guys can come here and trespass me here and tell me that I can't use DMV in Pittsburgh? That's insane. That doesn't even make sense. At least, okay, you don't have to trust me today. I'm not going to call you out. Go do the homework counter. I want you to be a better cop. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I'll go to court. It'll all go away. Okay?
Look, now her little rusty ass is trying to rush him along. Like, I hear you. Yeah, come on, let's wrap this up. Well, if you sit up there looking like Oprah, if you knew the law.
If you knew the law, you would be 10-8.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't even be there. And Uncle Fester with the sumo wrestler right there, security dude with the orange gun, all of them look stupid as shit. They look stupid. They just do. Look at him.
You too. I mean, come on. You got some stripes. I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but if you think that's right, that's going to hold up, go do some homework and see that that's not. You can't do that. It's a public facility. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Back to work. This guy, you better replace this guy, man. I'm telling you.
He's my buddy.
Oh yeah, he's gonna bring you a lawsuit. Your buddy,
Maybe.
your buddies who fucks you in the long run, even in life, not for work. Your buddy's the one that fucks up.
Situations.
Oh yeah, this guy's a hothead. Look at him,
Thank you,
just
Chili.
ramped up too. Ease off the Red Bull, bro.
Hey, we appreciate you, Chili. Appreciate that, bro.
Please, everybody, please like, share, subscribe. Links to all of our Sacramento Community Watch Network watchmen are down below. Please give us all likes, shares, and subscribes. If you have a chance, come back and watch this or let it play while you're sleeping on another channel. Greatly appreciate it. We could use the view hours and the likes on the other channels as well, folks. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Ease off.
He made Red Bull.
Huh? Remember I was going to jail, remember? If I came back, go to jail. Peace out.
When a man assumes a public trust, he should consider himself a public property. Thomas Jefferson.
Thank you. Hey, look at that right there on the side, right side. It says call 1-800, but it says boot liquor.
Yeah, Chili. I'll get you links in the chat here. Give me just a few seconds here.
That's hilarious.
This one here is going to be to my channel, Reno News Now. And let me.
We also check out our secondary channel, Cop Watch Task Force on YouTube.
Yeah.
Our lieutenant is he opened up that channel. If you guys aren't already subscribed, slide over to Cop Watch Task Force for us and subscribe.
Yeah, we'll copy that one and posting that one in chat now. Oops, I posted Reno News Now again. Hold on a second here. Copy link address. Cop Watch Task Force. Copy. Here's a link to Levi Audits. Here's a link to Xander the Educator. And here's a link to the accountability channel or my little off channel for Reno News Now called the ADHD Auditor. So all the links are now in the chat, folks. So thank you so much for joining us, and shout out to Chili DeCastro.
Chili.
For joining our live stream. Hey, Chili, if you ever want to come in and do this with us, you're more than welcome. Just let me know in chat and I'll send you a link. We'll send you a link to get in and join us. We'd love to have you on anytime. Greatly appreciate you and your work that you've done. It was just a grave injustice to what they did to you in the municipal court. I'm glad that you won in appellate court and that we could use your court case as case law in Chief England's case against that same unconstitutional law. We need to get that law overturned, and anything that you can do on your end from your cases, Chili, we greatly appreciate that work. We need to work to get this law stricken as unconstitutional and have them actually fall back on that interfering with a police officer and write a real constitutional resisting arrest law. It's just downright disrespectful and unconstitutional, that law. And that's one of our tasks here in the Nevada chapter of Sacramento Community Watch, is to get that law taken care of.
Right.
And
can I say before we go, so, as far as all of the auditors and First Amendment or cop watchers, we need to all stick together, all of us. We all do the same thing professionally. We need to all stick together, and we don't need the drama with everybody and doing all that extra crap. Let's stick together and let's get this shit done. Seriously.
Subscribe to everybody, like everything. Even if you hit the thumbs down, folks, we still love you. The only thing that we ask in our community channels when we do these lives and go on live is that you guys, one, be respectful to everybody in chat, and two, you don't talk about politics. It's not necessary. It's not done here. You will get timed out, and if we catch you habitually doing those things, we'll kick you out of chats. So, nothing like that has happened in the lives that we do here. However, we have noticed that on Sacramento Community Watch channel, when he does do cop watching, from the moderator standpoint that I am, we've been noticing those things where people throw in political statements and or start calling people horrible things, and it's just not necessary, folks. You will get timed out. You will get kicked out if you continue to repeat it. It's just not necessary. There's plenty of love to spread around, and let's spread it. So
I'm going to make you a moderator too. I'll do that once we end the live stream. I'll put you a moderator in our chat so you can help us out if we got some those type of people in here.
But, we do respect people's rights, constitutionally speaking, on our platforms. However, please note, we have to abide by YouTube guidelines. So it's not 100% First Amendment. The First Amendment is mostly between you and the government. It's not between you and YouTube. So just remember that, folks. And it's not between me and you. So, but we do thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, Levi, do you got anything you want to say before we cut out of here?
Nothing off the top of my head. I mean, to you guys, thanks for having me on again, and shout out to Chile.
Yeah, and shout out to Chance and shout out to Xander as well, our other two watchmen in the Sacramento Community Watch Network. Glad to have you all along, and hopefully this time as we get out of here, it'll play our outro. So you guys have a wonderful night, and thanks for joining us, folks.
We love you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.